on handling a toddler, handling a baby, handling a newborn. I had no experience on this. I've never had any exposure to this throughout my life. I mean, I'm 31 right now, and this was my first experience of handling a little one. But the fear factor that set in here was I didn't want to be that dad that looked clueless, that felt helpless, that felt like I was second best to my partner, doing everything that she could do. I wanted to listen, I wanted to observe, I wanted to watch everything she did. So when she needed a break and when she wanted to get away from the world for a little bit, go have a bath, go relax, go and have mum time, and go and be able to heal herself in any way she saw fit, that I could step in and not need to go and ask for help. The purpose of this YouTube channel is to give you a shortcut into what being a parent is. We'll skip the conceiving part, because I think, given in mind you've clicked on this video, it kind of tells me that that the salmon swims upstream, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, boy.
So in the videos, I'm going to break them down in chapters to give you reality. I want to break it down for you and give you that support that you need. Chapter 1. Unos. Un? Wait. I forgot French. Is it un?
Maybe we should stop.
We don't quit. We do not quit. Again.
Ah, yeah. Chapter. Forget that. It's shopping time, unfortunately. And from experience, God, this was a long day. A very, very long, enjoyable, questionably expensive kind of day. What I want to do is kind of get you to learn from my mistakes and not waste so much money. Aww. So the plan here, let's say we're out shopping right now. You and your partner, you're going into the shopping centres, you've seen H&M Kids, you've seen Zara, Primark, hint, Chef's Kiss. When you're looking at stuff for your newborn, be practical. Now, my son was born in March, which means it's not exactly the warmest type of weather. So when you're buying for your child, yes, buy a few months ahead for clothing that you really like. To be honest, we went into Primark quite realistic on what we were looking to buy. We were looking to get vests that we knew would potentially be sicked on, may need to be thrown out due to poo. You're preparing for every eventuality with a newborn, I promise you are. Because shit hits the fan, and the back of clothing subsequently. So what we're getting you ready for, go into Primark is number one. Primark and Next are really good. The quality is what you're buying for. What you're buying for is the long sleeve vests, the short sleeve vests, the baby socks, the baby grows, and things similar to that. You're going to be getting like 3 or 4 packs of these whites, whether you're buying specific colours for a daughter, for your son, or you're going just for the neutral colour, depending on what your vibe is, I guess. But my key advice here is plan the weather that you're going into. If your child's going to be a May or an April baby, then you're going into summer. So subsequently plan for the clothing that you're going to put your child in based on the weather conditions. And you can always top up going into spring, autumn and winter when you need to for thicker clothing, obviously. But when you're buying this, I will give you one dad sentence. Do not buy copious amounts of clothing. Don't go and buy £200-300 worth of clothing because you want to take all those pictures. What you're doing in the bluntest sense is you're spending £300 on clothing that your child's going to grow out of in under a week. We spent £200 on clothing all in. I promise, all in. We bought him the baby grows, everything we needed that he would need night and day when he was fresh out of hospital. We had planned and we bought, everything was essentially white and very, very light shades of blue, just as a colour palette, I guess. While you're there, you're not just going to buy clothing. You're probably going to go to the car, you're going to come back, and it's a full-on day trip that you're going ham. It's full send. It's get everything we need. The boot's full. We're going home, and we're just going to sit in awe on the living room floor and look at how much we've bought and then find spaces for it. So this is my shopping list. Baby creams are so important that they go unnoticed. But the one key thing I can say is after some discovery, we found a product called Metanium. Metanium is during the day cream and an overnight protective cream. There's two boxes, one is white and one is yellow. Daytime is white and the overnight treatment is yellow. Buy both, get one of each, I promise. You can find this in pretty much any supermarket, Boots, Amazon. You can get online. If you can't find it in store, get yourself online. Look at the reviews of what I suggest. If anything, to double check my advice and my opinion on this, Metanium works 5 times better in my opinion than Sudocrem or Bepanthen or any on-market brand at the moment. Metanium, I could not recommend this enough. Right, nappies. You don't need to suck eggs when I tell you this. Buy a few, buy some different brands. Every supermarket and every major supermarket or brand sells nappies. They all use similar technology and similar design. From my personal opinion, we've had success with the Asda ones and we've had success with Aldi. Don't stock up at the start. You don't know what size your child's going to come out at, so get a pack of one size and the next size up. So we bought, I think, 3 multi-packs of the Pampers newborn size. The day after we brought him home, he'd grown out. So we had 3 multi-packs that we'd then given away because what's the point? Aldi worked best for us, and to this day we still use Aldi. He's currently in size 8 nappies going on to potty training. But I can't recommend Aldi highly enough. I think for what you're paying, I think it's under £4 for, I think you're paying under £4 for about just under 30 nappies, I think it is. Aldi is God tier, I'm just going to call it. Aldi is God tier. Go and give Aldi a go and give Asda a go, and then try the rest underneath and see what fits. Some of you may disagree. Some parents have said Aldi work. Some parents have said their Sainsbury's were just God tier for them. I disagree. Yeah, hard, full, nada. Formula. There is a niche market involved in what formula is. We stuck with Aptamil. We've had Aptamil ever since our son was born. We took that into the hospital with us for his first feed. We've never deviated from this. The consistency here is key for your child's stomach. We stuck with Aptamil on the basis that we brought it. It was only a few pound more at the time of my son's birth. Aptamil was about £11.40 for a tub. It's still expensive because I think Cow & Gate it's kind of fluctuating around just over £10 per tub at the moment, and that's the most consistent pricing I've seen. Aptamil was the best. Aptamil, there's a variety of things you can do. There's cubes that you can buy for them. There's sachets that you can direct do sachets. I think they're like 2 measurements in a sachet where you can just direct pour in. The cubes are a space saver across everything, so it's worth keeping that in mind. Right, let's talk about it. Bottles. The pain, the bane, the preference here is more important than you think. Most bottles are interchangeable. The bottles we use, and we don't use them anymore because of how old he is now, but the bottles we use for the first 2 years are called MAM. MAM is such a consistent brand. I'm going to tell you straight, it's such a simple brand that you shouldn't overlook it. What you're looking for is practicality, interchangeability. MAM is so good that you should stick with it. The reason I say this is most brands have anti-colic filters and they have different 3D plastics that they're printed inside the bottle. You just stick simple. Keep one thing in mind. Aim for a teat that's similar to your partner's nipple. I know, I said nipple. The nipple being similar to your partner's if you're breastfeeding is the transition to using bottles as you as a dad, so you can kind of put a shift in, is a really good thing to think about at the same time. I'm not saying when you're going shopping, whack them out and then compare teats to tits. Well, why not? But what I'm saying is, keep that in mind while you're doing it. The reason I'm telling you this is MAM bottles are really, really good at changing through age categories and size categories. The colorways are pretty simple with beige, pink and blue, but there's also an eco version of their bottle they now do, like eco-friendly. It's a bit more expensive, but it depends on what kind of person and beliefs you've got. Me, it was just a practical decision. We got a pack. I believe we bought it from Boots at the time. It was around 45, 50 pound, I think it was. But it comes with an assortment of bottle sizes. So the compartments you've got with a man bottle is the silicone base that goes in the bottom. You've got the colorway at the bottom of the bottle, which is either pink, white or blue. And then the silicone pad helps the suction when your child drinks from the bottle. That sits on the top. The center pod, the main compartment where the milk and the formula is held, these sizes interchange from, I think it goes from up to 6 ounces and it goes all the way up to 13 ounces on bigger sizes. So you can interchange these bottles without needing to buy the full set again or buy a full bottle. The reason I say man bottles are really good, the practicality is when you're looking at bottles, you automatically look at sterilizers or veg steamers. Let's just call it what it is. It's a veg steamer with the brand's label on it. You're spending 30 quid on something that's going to sit on the worktop in your kitchen or whatever room you're sorting the bottles and prepping bottles out. 30, 40 quid on a veg steamer is a bit pointless. Man bottles are really good with their technology and the way they've designed the bottles. Again, I'm not trying to sell it to you, I'm just giving you the opinion. Save money, be practical, because these bottles are the best on the market. Straight up, that's my opinion. You put a bit of water in the bottom of the bottle, you twist the T and put the lid back on, put it in the microwave for 30 to 40 seconds. The bottle's sterile. Let the water drain out, let it air dry on the rack in your kitchen side. All your bottles are sterile. Good to go. In under a minute, your job's done. You don't have to put them in a steamer, have to do the double wash. You wash your bottles like normal, hot soapy water, rinse, fill it with water, steam, let it air dry, bottles are sterile, you're good to go. And you've got a stack for the day. With a steamer, there's another thing on the electric bill. It may be minuscule, but it's adding the cost. It's an extra 30 quid you didn't need to spend. 30, 40 quid, just put it back in your pocket, save it. Steamers, pointless. Have a look, check them out. Again, I'll put the link in the description so you guys can see what man bottles are about. Have a little look for yourselves. Find what's best for you, but just based on what we've experienced with bottles, man is, if we had another baby, man would be the first thing I bought. Hands down, without even thinking about it. Now, this is going to be slightly controversial. Bottle ready machines. These formula ready machines that save you. Don't bother. Don't bother. It's so pointless. You're spending 100 quid. That's £100 you're spending on a machine that gets the water just right. You don't have Goldilocks and the three bears in your house. Prep. Just prep. Don't spend 100 quid on a machine that you still have to clean. You still have to change the filters for. This isn't something you buy 100 quid for and that's it. Like, there's filters to this. You're cleaning out the formula. There's time to clean this machine out and then refit it, refill it, avoid lime scale getting in there. Like, these are things you can just avoid. If you're that concerned on lime scale in the water and you're that concerned on wherever you live, if you've got whatever water type you live in, whether it's the south of England, the north of England, if you're looking like that, just get like a Brita filter in your fridge. Just use filtered water. If you're that concerned on that side of it, go get a filtered water machine from a supermarket and just use filtered water if it's easier for you that way, and then use that water, put it in the kettle after that. You'll avoid lime scale regardless, because that's how filtering works. It's 100 quid and saves you 1 minute of your time. For 100 quid, I'll save the 100 and I'll add a minute on. I'm good with that. Like, 1 minute does not change my life, does not change my routine at night. What's the point? All we did is, you will learn this, but you will learn through your own trial and error of what to do in the night. I'm not going to give you the instruction there, because every family on a night routine will have their own tweaks and what they find works. All you need is cold water in a Pyrex jug with your bottle cooling. Don't overthink this, boys. Like, honestly, gents, don't overthink it. Don't spend money on stuff you don't need to spend money on. You're wasting 100 quid on something that you probably want to spend a few months down the line, I promise. Stick with the old-fashioned way. Stick with spending the extra minute investment in doing what you do and making sure it's done right. We're British. Get it done first time, crack on. Some safety. Yeah, we do safety on this channel. Safe. Let's not do that again. We're talking bedroom. We're talking a crib or a Moses basket or whatever wafty name they're calling it. We bought a next to me crib. For anyone that doesn't know, a next to me crib is a crib that's very, very firm based. It slides under your bed and one side of it unzips and the strap goes underneath your mattress or the base of your bed and hugs alongside. So your crib is right next to the bed. You can have it level where the mattress is perfectly in line with their mattress in the bed, or you can have it lower so there's no chance of any rolling. Obviously I'd suggest the latter of lower. But what that does is give you less movement in the night. So if it's your night or your partner's night, what it means is you can roll over, you can quickly grab the bottle from the side, feed your little one, change them, get them back to swaddled and get them back laying down again. It's one swift movement. It's a lot more comfortable. And if you want to go for a cuddle and you need to comfort them in the evening, in the night, then it's just one simple pickup and we're sorted. You haven't got to get out of bed. You haven't got to disturb your movement, your partner's sleep, or in reverse, or your sleep by your partner. The essence of this giving you more sleep and giving you more comfort is second to none. And next to me will save you hours on sleep, I promise. We bought ours from Smyths Toys. There are so many other brands. If they all do the same thing, different price brands for different, I guess, characteristics of the crib. I think we got ours for about 85 or 95 pound at the time. That was from the store itself. So go and look at these things. Smyths are a really good example. Boots have got a really great example. They build these things in the store. Go see what you like and do a bit of online shopping. Right, bathing is and always will be one of the coolest first experiences of being a parent. I promise you're gonna love it. It's really good fun. The first time might be a bit overstimulating for your little one. So what I'm gonna try and do is get you the best prepared I know how. When you're looking at stuff, you have to remember your little one is not used to their skin being exposed. So when you get a bath and when you get their restraint bath and their comfort bath, look for one that's silicone based. We got a bathtub which I'll just ping up here quickly. We bought this mainly for the reason it wouldn't pull water at the bottom. So what it means is once you're using the water, it will go through the holes at the back, but it also gives your child and your newborn enough support with their head that there's no room for maneuvering, there's no room for movement. Even if they shuffle a little bit, they're still safe. You can always support the head just by putting your hand behind the neck, of course, but you don't really need to do too much. You can just be next to them and support them if they need it. Buy a flannel, buy a soft flannel. I'm not saying buy Egyptian cotton. I'm just not saying that. But buy a flannel that covers enough of their body from the lower part of realistically their knees up towards the top half of their chest. The reason for this is water contact can startle them a little bit, even though it's lukewarm water, it can startle them. The flannel is there as kind of a first barrier from that water touching their skin, but it also gives them the consistent warmth that if you were to take that flannel off, it's like when you get out of the bath the first time, one of the windows is open in the house and it's midwinter and everything goes up, everything goes north. Those are two really great tips that I'll give you there for purchases. You won't really need too much other than soft more child suited towels. Really soft towels are the common sense approach to this. We got a few just because you never know how many you need. You're going to wash them. You're not always, in the first instance, you're not going to wash your child every day just to protect their skin, because you don't want to use water for the first few weeks of their birth, because you don't want to use any kind of products. Having different types of towels, just having a handful spare. It's always good to have spares, I promise. In any scenario, you may need a spare for water spillage to make sure you're safe in the bathroom. If you've got tiles, the extra towel just avoids any sort of potential accidents. So just keep that in mind. When we're looking at products, go with what you feel is best. So you've got the two most well-known, Child's Farm and Johnson's. We went with Child's Farm just because it wasn't a strong smell. And I'm not saying the others are, but just off what we went with. Child's Farm, the scent when we were using the body wash wasn't as strong, which we felt wouldn't overstimulate or cause any sort of irritation to our little man's skin at the time. Don't be inconsistent with it. It's my best advice to you on this one. Like, just stick. It's Johnson's or it's Child's Farm or it's this or that. It's one or the other. The one thing I will say is talcum powder, have some. Just get some. Talcum powder is really, really good for absorbing any residue water on the skin. If you don't use moisturizers, talcum powder acts as a soft base moisturizer. It avoids friction when you're putting them back in baby grows after a bath and you're getting them back to bedtime routine and you're getting them in something warm again. Trust me, daddy. At a certain point, we we have to kind of help mum a little bit here. Mum is full time. The dad, you as the dad, you're likely going to go back to work after paternity. So the one thing we really need to do is ensure that mum has the best chance of sleep and a normalised pattern as she can when she's looking after the little one on her maternity leave. A comfort side of things you need to consider is a baby swing. Don't kill me on the pronunciation of this one, but I think it's Joey or Joy or Joie. Little thing on the top of the E, I think, or the I. The main reason we got it is because we wanted to try a white noise setting. Sometimes little ones prefer white noise, they prefer softer noises like nursery chimes, things like that, like background music that's soothing. Every baby's has a natural preference. White noise for us, because I think it might be like a father-son thing that you just blur everything out the minute someone starts talking, and white noise, it just goes to white noise. I don't know, it just might be my fault. But yeah, this swing was a godsend. You can have it on battery, you can have it on power operation, so you can move it about. It can be a lot more mobile, it's easy to take down and it's easy to put together. And it's machine washable for the fabric seating that attaches to the base. So if there is any sick on it, it's an easy wash, easy sort and back in. You don't have to get an electronic one, you can get one that naturally rocks. So you can just use your foot, you can use your hand and gently just rock them off. But it's also another method of sleep. So it's another place your little one can fall asleep. Go and have a look in the shops. We went with one, we got it for about £35, and it made all the difference. The swing used to help him sleep at the time, so she could then lay him back down into a safe position in the cot and she could then sleep. So it's all about assisting your partner and assisting you, whichever parent is present at the time, looking after the little one while the other one rests and recuperates, or is taking time for themselves, like showering or just hygiene. Then this is one of those things I'd keep in mind. So we got a mat that had sensory animals on it that was very soft, that had kind of crinkly noises, I guess like a tinfoil based noise. I don't really know what you call it. I was going to say tinfoil based noise. Those basic moments are like so key to just getting it right. Get engaging sensory, very, very young, just basic things like a soft play mat that you can just lay on the floor with them, let them kick their legs a little bit and their baby grow, with your partner can lay next to your little boy on the other side or your little girl on the other side, and you can just have engaging moments with them. I hope this list helps. The reason I'm giving this to you, again, the whole point of this channel is to support dads, is to give you the insight, to give you the knowledge and the know-how, to get you through the first part of Welcome to Dad Life, is the shopping stage of it, to know what to buy, to know the best advice and the best practical ways of buying what you need. So you can build off that list, you can see other things that you might like on any circumstance of whatever you think is beneficial, like dummies and all of that stuff. Like all those things are all user preference. So the whole point of this channel and the whole point of this video and me creating a YouTube channel is to help dads, is to give you support, and I'll continue to do that in different videos and different content, etc. And cover a lot more subjects, some serious and a lot more fun, with a lot more fun stories involved. To recap, we've gone through it. We've gone through the shopping. We've gone through what I think you should buy, some advice on what I think is really going to help you. It's going to keep the costs down, which is the most important thing right now. You want to keep that money for the rainy days and for the times you can really enjoy it. If there's any dads watching, any parents watching, that you want to drop some advice, you want to drop what you've learned, what you think is another advice that we could add on to this, and what you think is going to benefit another parent, please drop a comment, drop a link. Tell parents when they can find it, how it's worked, why it's worked. Like this, I'm trying to build a community that helps dads, helps you guys directly, and helps parents along the way. The point of this channel is to give you that support from the good and the bad, and to let you know that, quite simply, you're not alone, and that there are dads all over the world that may be feeling and thinking the same as you, and to let you know that be all right, boys, gents, you'll be okay, I promise. If I can do it with no experience and crapping my pants from the moment I found out I was going to be a dad, and to finding solutions to making sure I was the best dad that I could be when it was time, I promise you can do it. No matter what walk of life you're from, no matter what situation you're in, the child is the most important thing in the world. And if you're a dad, take that responsibility on your shoulders, take it with pride. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. The reason I've kind of given you this initial list as an introduction to the channel, is to show you the content of what I want to bring to you. It'll be a varied content of my social, like for sport. Obviously I love golf, so some golf will be on there. I do different things in different lives that relate to me being a dad. A lot of this content is going to be focused on what being a dad is, giving you the advice and support you need to get you through times that you may need to just have a search what to do. If you've enjoyed this video, drop a like, drop a comment, Most importantly, subscribe, and thanks for watching.